What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Investing Bros. Now, listen, guys, there's a sentence that's going around crypto Twitter and crypto YouTube, and everyone loves to use it in the positive light, but no one likes it when it's negative. That sentence is, this time is different. Well, guess what? It's not your birthday. You don't get your cake and get to eat it too. If we're going to apply by the rules of this time is different, we also got to be prepared for when that different is a little bit more negative. And a lot of times we want to use that sentence, this time is different, meaning we don't need to correct, we don't need to correct, we don't need to correct. But guess what? Now that a correction is taking form, some people are hoping / wishing maybe this is just a normal 20% pullback. The problem is this time is different. Could we be going a lot lower? We're going to talk about that and a whole lot more in the video. So make sure you strap on in, get your popcorn, get the drink, get your nice sip. You know, if you don't have a cup that's as cool as this one right here, Brody's dad, get you one. I think my mom made this for me. Etsy or something. I don't know. Get your drink. We're going to strap on in. I am joined today by my amazing, and as he likes to be referred to, illustrious co-host, Mr. T-Shroom from down there in Gainesville, Florida. T-Shroom, how we feeling today?
To be honest with you, Tim, I'm actually feeling better than I deserve. And
that's good.
Yeah.
Good.
So I guess it's not just another Tuesday, you know. So let's check it out here. I've got a quote of the day for you. Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. That's James Baldwin, obviously spitting some fire there, some straight fuego.
James Baldwin. Which one is that? Which of the Baldwin brothers is that one?
The one that's not being prosecuted for manslaughter on set.
Yeah, I bet he wish he could change that.
Allegedly. Get that allegedly word in there.
He is facing it, though. He's facing the charges, so maybe something can change, you know? Speaking of change, T-Shroom, we're going to have to be cutting the show a little early today.
Yeah.
And if you guys are wondering why, T-Shroom's done with the show. He's getting tired of being around here for about an hour 15 every single day.
There's just no intrinsic value to Bitcoin, you know?
Yeah. He's just getting bored with the whole thing. So we're going to be ending probably 5 minutes early today. We will get to Q&A a little quicker because of that. And before we move too much further into this, we do have to announce that we are lying. We are going to end quickly today, shorter video today. But it's because T-Shroom's got an interview. He's starting new podcasts without me. He's taking new interviews without really me knowing a lot of the details. I'm sensing something in the works, T-Shroom, that is peculiar. Do you have any defense? Anything to claim innocence in this case?
Well, I mean, the markets are really mixed today. And, you know, when the markets are a little mixed,
good point.
You know, things can become a little bit more opaque, kind of in our vision of the future and the present. So, you know, hopefully, though, you know, later in the week, you know, the markets will clear up and kind of make a decision one way or another.
Good cover. That makes a lot of sense. Well, because it's a quicker, shorter show, let's go ahead and get on in here and cover what's happening now. Reddish day going so far. Bitcoin up just flashed red. So now it's red again. Was up for a second there. Down 3.7%. We're going to talk about this, guys. I don't love saying I told you so, but we have we called this correction a little early. The problem is it over? I don't know. We'll have to take a look there. Ethereum still outpacing. We didn't look at the ETH over Bitcoin chart yesterday. Today I'm going to do it. I promise. And if I don't do it, that just makes me a liar for 2 days in a row. ETH continues to drop faster than Bitcoin. Solana, though, after a lot of days taking the lead, down 9%, but that's what you should expect at a certain point after having such an amazing rally. Still up 21% of the week, 172 in the last 3 months, but for the day, down almost 10%. BNB down 3.4, but still sitting behind Solana, so cannot regain its number 3 spot of crypto other than stable coins. Let's see, XRP. It makes sense that on a day where everything else bleeds, XRP goes positive, doesn't it, T-Shroom?
It does.
It makes a lot of sense, yeah. They're still down 12% for the week, but up today. Let's see who else. AVAX for sure bleeding. Cardano's bleeding. Still a higher price than XRP at the moment. Cardano holding on to 61 cents. But those two were wrestling back and forth for a while. Who's leading in terms of price per coin? XRP still winning the market cap game, but who knows, you know? Things could change here very quickly. Doge is down. Sheeb is down. Let's take a look at the biggest gainers, biggest losers of the day. Phantom up 17%. That is your biggest gainers, followed by Aptos, Sui, Tia. All right, so we got a couple of our coins in our portfolio still in the green today. I would imagine our portfolio T-Shroom is pretty obliterated today, down on the 24-hour count at least. But Sui and Tia definitely coming in and propping it up with 10% gain, 12% for Sui and 10% for Tia. Say as well, and Optimism. Oh, look at OP up positive. Too bad it's not positive overwhelmingly. We're going to update you guys on mine and T-Shroom's weekly trading bet. We just started this last Saturday. It's disappointing to say the least. Let's look at our biggest losers. It's crazy. The biggest loser only down 10%. That is Jupiter. Good for me. I am shorting Jupiter in this week's competition. I'm also shorting Solana. So two of the biggest losers in my bracket. Too bad it still does not have me in the lead just yet. Theta as well is down 7%. Covered that earlier today in my video. Make sure you go check out after the stream's over. I made a video about AI tokens. You're going to want to watch it. You're going to want to pay attention. Polkadot is down 5.6% as well. Those are our biggest gainers, biggest losers. Let's check out the charts and see what's happening, though, on a more, zoomed in level here. Now, remember a couple of days ago, and I said couple, I mean probably a week and a half ago. No, I would have called it somewhere here. I would have called it somewhere around the 14th. We're sitting on the 19th, so not even a week ago. My timeline's all over the place. I told you guys when this pullback started to happen, if we dropped outside of this yellow line, this rising wedge, keep an eye on the prices going a little bit below $63,000. Guess what, guys? We wicked down here 15% after that, down to 62,340. It actually went a little bit lower. Now, we are bouncing, and you go see as we go into shorter time frames, we have a little bit of a falling level of support, falling level of resistance. There's a little bit of a zone. So do not even be surprised if Bitcoin potentially makes a bounce back up towards 66, maybe pushes closer towards 67. As a whole, though, we are setting lower highs and lower lows in this smallish trend. And the question becomes, and oh my goodness, he joined the chat as we came in here. Caleb Franzen in chat. You'll love to see it. We're going to have him on tomorrow. Don't miss it. He's going to be coming on, and we're going to get to break down what the FOMC meeting means and what it's talking about for Bitcoin. And I think Caleb might still be in a little more of a bullish trend, although I think he's not at the end of the world. It's not the end of the world for him if we get a little bit of a cool off. Where I'm sitting here looking at for Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen, and I told you this before, at least 20%. Let's go back to my chart here, T-Shroom. I think that, traditionally during this whole run-up from the bottom of the bear market, we've had 20% pullbacks be our biggest. 20% would put us down here in this category. When I say 20%, I'm roughly talking about 21, 22% as well. We're talking about levels back down towards 59K, a little bit below 59K. I think when you're just looking at the closest target of what's sitting there, you're either talking about more like a 19 right here on 60K, or you're possibly talking about coming down to this yellow line. Of course, this yellow line was former resistance. I think if you hit those levels, we're talking about somewhere north of 57, upwards of 58,000. And that is just a normal pullback. But like we said before, this one is a little bit different. And everyone loves saying this time is different when we're looking at these time frames where never in the history of Bitcoin ever, and I got to fix this again, never in the history of Bitcoin ever have we hit a new all-time high before the halving event, right? Never has it ever happened. However, it does happen now. Well, in the same breath, though, this time is different. I told you guys I thought that there would be a wave. This final wave would come up somewhere short of $75,000. Guess what that means? I got to spread this out and show you guys. A, B, C, or sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got our Elliott waves theory here. We have wave 1 was huge, wave 3, but now this was the 5th wave. A 20% correction, I do believe, is just the beginning of it. I think this is one that we see maybe a little closer to 30, maybe a little closer to 40. I think altcoins do the same. That's kind of what I've been talking about a lot recently with the last couple of days of videos. We're seeing our oscillators kind of talk about how this dip is a little different. Yes, you see similarities in terms of money flow to the other 20% dips, but none of them had the excessive amount of money come into the space and then leave it as drastically. So it just makes a lot of sense as we come in closer to halving. Everyone was so bullish. Everyone was so excited about this time is different. New all-time highs we're having. But at the same time, that means that corrections can be just as different as they were before. This could be the biggest correction we actually end up facing. I still am on the watch out, guys, for about $48,000. That would be a pullback on Bitcoin of roughly 35%, give or take. It says 34.5. I'm rounding up here. That's still kind of my watch area. I'll keep an eye on 57. There's a chance 57 bounces, but if we start to lose 57, I would be very surprised if 48 is not the next stop for Bitcoin. In tradition with, even though other things are different in this bull market, we come and have a little bit of a repeat of history similar to previous bear markets where we do have a 30 to 40% pullback before the real explosiveness happens. I want to make sure I'm clear with you guys, though, because I'm coming across like a very strong bear. There's a bear in the thumbnail. I'm telling you Bitcoin price goes down. Listen, I'm saying all this to let you know there still are so many bullish signs out there that we could do way higher than expectation for the top of the bull market. Do not worry about measly little 40% pullbacks on Bitcoin, because when you go back to the chart, I just want you to kind of see how this passes the eyeball test. Let's pretend that I'm right here. Let's pretend that this dip does not end until 48,000. We kind of make our way through the halving and we come down here and we hit this and then price go up. Just look at this with me here, guys. That is not a weird looking chart. That is not a bearish looking chart. This is still higher highs, higher lows, still something very, very positive. And we look at SMAs, for example. Let's go and pull up. I always had the 155 on here, but let's take a look at some others as well. And by the way, Caleb Franzen, a big supporter of looking at our moving averages. Could we see maybe a pullback, bounce back down towards our 200 daily? Where's our weekly sitting? That's the purple line, by the way, guys. Could we see? I don't know. It's going to be a while before we touch the 200 weekly, I would imagine. That one's still sitting very, very low down here towards 32,000. And those don't move very, very quick. My point, though, is could we potentially see this start to kind of keel over as price continues to slowly fall? This line's not going to keep this same aggressive line. It's going to keel over. Maybe we get some form of a bounce right in here. We bounce off the 200, and then it keeps going to the upside as well. But as long as we're staying above that, you cannot complain. You cannot get too bearish. We are still extremely strong in the bull market, but bull markets include pullbacks. French Toaster, love the comment. Timmy Soloway. I think the only difference between me and Mr. Soloway is I didn't tell you guys to short the whole way up. No offense to Gareth. Gareth is a very smart man. Love him. But you do have to, when people are wrong, you need to acknowledge they're wrong. When I'm wrong, I acknowledge I'm wrong. And I've been wrong about a lot of things. Not necessarily recently, I'll say. But when you're wrong, you got to admit it. Soloway's been a little bit wrong. Love him, though. Would love to have him come on the show and give his case for what he thinks is next. T-Shroom, we're going to do more TA during the Q&A section, but let's go ahead and get into the news because, again, you're leaving us early, so we have to cut the show a little short. What you got for us?
Well, the big thing is, did you see that picture of the guy who believed in the phrase "this time is different"? They found a picture of him right here. I don't know if you saw this already, but it looks good. It's real.
Probably
guys.
A runner. He's probably a runner. Very thin body.
This is real. This is the real deal. Speaking of the real deal, Europe, they're no stranger to having money. And Galaxy Digital is looking to take advantage of that. Galaxy Digital to introduce exchange-traded products in Europe in a matter of weeks. Yes, a matter of weeks. Basically, they're going to be getting some sort of crypto ETF. Galaxy Digital said this: we've partnered with DWS and will, in a matter of weeks, be launching new ETPs in Europe, said Leon Marshall and the panel of Blockworks Digital Asset Summit 2024 in London on Tuesday. Now, you might be wondering, Tim, DWS, what up with that? DWS Group, right? It's founded in Hamburg in 1956. It's basically a Dutch financial services provider. Can you believe that? Partnering
they're not Nazis. I just want everyone to know. 1956. The World War II is over, so don't feel like because we're talking about a German company here that we're talking about Nazis.
Right.
Squash that FUD before it gets going. You know?
That's right. The March 19th episode, the spiciest episode of Investing Bros so far. You're here. You're living it with us. We're excited. Tim, Europe, the European financial markets are not as big as the American ones, but the Asian markets are kind of in a similar boat where, they're a significant market for their hemisphere, for their part of the world. but they're really it's kind of in question how much they really push the needle. What do you think about the American ETPs versus European and Asian ETPs? Do you think that they're really important here, or do you think it's really the American BlackRock and Fidelity ETFs that are going to push the needle?
For now, the American ones are going to push it. Not to throw any negativity towards European ones. There's just not going to be anywhere near the capital spent. Now, I would say if you're going to compare the European to say maybe some of the South American countries that could maybe create an ETF or something, of course that's going to be bigger. But at this point, there's just nothing that touches the American economy's movements with a 10-foot pole. You look at the strength of currency right now, and as much as those of us in America know the dollar sucks, the rest of the world is sitting around saying, I wish we had the US dollar, because compared to what we got, it's amazing. So just the way economies work, the way everything happens, good. It's a good another step of positivity to see Europe creating ETFs, but let's not put that anywhere near the same weight as American ETFs.
Yeah. Lot bigger pot of money here just in the United States where we're reporting from. And but the European banks, the Asian banks, they're sizable as well once they all kind of get brought together. So that's Galaxy Digital. It's a pretty big, could be a bigger headline, but we'll see. Ethereum could top 14K next year alongside Bitcoin boom, says Standard Chartered. So this is a pretty big one, and this is not yesterday's news. Tim and I were chatting a little bit before the stream. This is Ethereum. So it's on the Ethereum side. They said this. If that is spot Ethereum ETF gets approved, Geoffrey Kendrick, head of Forex and crypto research at the firm, Standard Chartered, said in a note that we could potentially be seeing 14K as soon as 2025. So that's pretty big. That's insane. Do you know how many X's that is off the top of your head from where we are now?
ETH to 14?
Yeah.
It's going to be like what? A little bit more than 4X?
No. It's going to be huge.
Four and some change. Not quite a 5X, but in that category.
Yeah, going to be huge.
I still think that's bearish. I still see Ethereum getting closer to 18 to 20K is realistically where I'm seeing it. Chat, what do you guys think about Ethereum? 14K, high, low, exactly right. T-shirt, before we get back into some more stories, couple of questions here. Alchemist saying we're just skipping his questions. We're so sorry, Alchemist. Elliott Waves and Wyckoff are different, right? Yes, they are very different. Very, very different. I'll let you know when I'll do more Wyckoff stuff. Right now, we're not really in accumulation or distribution zone as much as we're in a very much a bull market that have pullbacks. Fade and Tradface say, I like bull Tim better than bear Tim. Caleb, can you come help this guy out? Here's the thing, Fade and Tradface. I don't feel like this is bear Tim because I like making money. Do you like making money, Fade and Trad? T-Shroom, do you like making money? Put a 1 in chat if you like making money. T-Shroom?
As long as it's not fiat.
True. Okay, good idea. But you like the idea of turning little bit of money into a lot of bit of money, right?
Here's what I like. I like adding to my wealth.
Mm-hmm. Do you make more wealth when you buy prices of something at 70,000 or when you buy prices of something at 48,000?
That is a perfect, flawless example of a question. 40,000, Tim.
Yeah. Okay. So if we're really wanting to make more money, don't we want to be buying at 48,000 rather than 70,000?
A participant in the market would have an incentive for the price to come lower.
I am loving this line of your answering. Very political and greatly appreciated. So no, this is not bearish Tim. The only way to be bearish Tim is if I came out and said, guys, 74 was the top. We're going down to 3K. That's bearish Tim. When you hear that, let me know. Yeah, T-Shroom should slap me. We got a long way to go to the upside. And what I'm excited about is, and you guys, Eric Wallen's going to love this. A lot of you guys are going to love this. Did you miss the boat? Because the boat's coming back. 48K on Bitcoin coming.
Oh, man.
I love it. I think that's bullish. That's just me. Caleb, Franzen, let me know. Do you agree, disagree? All right, let's keep getting back in the news. We're going to get back into chat and some Q&A a little bit later. But yeah.
Oh, man. Well, here we go. This is actually a great question here from Parish Parsa, transitioning into our next story here, said, are we going to have a significant crash in altcoins, specifically AVAX? So maybe that'll be a coin that we take a look here into the Q&A session, which is right on the other side of what I've got cooking, the Factoid, and we'll get right into the Q&As, guys. We're gonna spend a lot of time there camped out, kind of answering what kind of crypto conundrums you all might be kind of puzzling through. Well, let's see if we can answer this question in the following way, because your boy got a little wreck on the old platform known as X. Maybe you've heard of it. Peter Schiff said, whenever Bitcoin has a big overnight gain, it's the lead story on Squawk CNBC. In fact, on those days, positive discussions on Bitcoin dominate the 7 a.m. hour. Yet this morning, with Bitcoin down 6% overnight, a huge move here, says Peter Schiff. Huge. Bitcoin wasn't mentioned once during the entire hour. Now, as you can see, this tweet got quite a bit of attention, almost 560 likes. But then your boy slid in, right? He entered the chat. He said, imagine thinking 6% is a huge move. And I had to @ Caleb Franzen, because Caleb Franzen and Peter Schiff, they're not like this. They're like this. They go way, way back.
Best of friends.
Yes, exactly. Now, Peter Schiff, Peter and I will go back and forth on Twitter all the time. But in this particular occasion, he said, it is. How often is Bitcoin up or down 6% overnight? Moves that large are rare, even for Bitcoin. Now, 29 people piled in, 29 bros. They piled in and defended your boy's tweet here. But overall, me and Peter, we get augured into these arguments on Twitter, and it's just, it's like he's a macroeconomic genius, I'm like a crypto genius, and, we just go back and forth, kind of really mostly just arguing over what the term genius means. And I try to downplay it, because pride is important to keep subdued. But Peter, he's somebody who he really likes the term genius. So did Einstein.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I understand why 6% means a lot to Pete, right? In case you guys hadn't looked at a gold chart here more recently, in the same time frame, go to my screen here real quick. This is Bitcoin. I'm gonna start with Bitcoin. Bitcoin bottomed out in the bear market back here November 2022, so fall of 2022. Since then has rallied 373%. So that's just, I want you guys to think of that. In the last year and some change, since the bottom of the bear market, we are up over 300%. Versus gold, look at the same timeline, right? So you come back here to it hit its bottom of the bear market a little sooner in September of 2022. A whopping 35% in the last year or so. So 6%, that's a hefty percentage. I mean, we're talking about that's like 20% of the movement, 6%, right? Versus when you're looking at Bitcoin, I'm no mathematician, but 6% to 373, not significant. So in this case, I vote Team Genius awarded to T Shroom. 6%, not a big deal in the Bitcoin world. Whereas in gold, where Peter Schiff's coming from, I have to hand it to him. He's right. That's a big move for the gold heads, but not for Bitcoin whatsoever.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it is what it's just another Tuesday for me, just kind of chatting back and forth with Peter Schiff, mixing it up, trying to get down to the bottom of some of these bigger, kind of heavier to lift economic questions. But it's all in a day's work, just another Tuesday. So, Tim, we are here. We are at the moment that everyone has been waiting for. This is the iTrust Capital Factoid of the day, Tim. Ooh. Today, the Factoid is brought to you by iTrust Capital. Right now, if your $100 pocket is burning, you need $100, we got an opportunity for you, because right here, when you click on the link in the description for iTrust Capital, you get a free $100. They're gonna go ahead and match that when you sign it up. When you sign up,
deposit. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, they're not just gonna. You don't just go to the website.
Listen, that would be ridiculous if they're just out here sending $100 to people just for clicking on a link. Clicking on links are awesome, but you got to sign up for an account. Get $100 though. That's not a bad idea. And again, remember, don't just sign up for one account. Make one for your wife. Make one for your 3 kids. I don't believe it's legal to make one for your dogs. I could be wrong.
No, not in America. No,
not in America.
Yeah,
because dogs, they have no rights, and we're going to change that.
Yeah, that's something that we're working on in 2024. But what I will say is, whenever I'm chatting with Peter Schiff, he's always like, T-Shroom, you got to get an IRA. You got to get a Roth IRA. And I'm like, Peter, you ask me this every time. I have IRAs already. I understand how compound interest can really accumulate, and you don't want to be taxed on that. So you keep your money, right? In my case, it's a lot of crypto in an IRA, right? It's a tax advantaged structure. And who do I go with? Obviously, the best, the pros over at iTrust Capital. That's who you're going to want to go to with as well. Now, what a lot of people are thinking is, T-Shroom, what about the factoid? Well, the factoid is this, Tim. Microsoft was founded by Bill Gates and Paul Allen on April 4th of what year?
Fudge. I don't know. It's been a long time. I'm going to rule out 2001.
What's been a long time?
Let's just get rid of C altogether. Does not exist in this camp.
Okay.
Bill Gates is sitting at what? I don't know, like 70 years old?
That's a prime age to run a country.
Give or take. That's true. That's our president. Our next president is going to be over 70. Our current president's over 70. The one before that was over. Was he? No, I guess Trump was under 70 when he first was president. That's not the factoid of the day. All right, so it's going to be. I think he's like 70 years old, and I'm going to imagine he was sitting somewhere closer to his later 20s to early 30s, which means we're talking about 40 years ago. That's going to give me what, 1985-ish being the area.
Okay.
It's probably A or B. So let's go with B, 1985.
All right, he's locking it in, folks. 1985. Was he right?
Gosh darn it.
1975, Microsoft, maybe you've heard of it, was founded by Bill Gates and Paul Allen on April 4th, 1975, to develop and sell basic interpreters for the Altair 8800, which I don't know what that is. What is that? Oh, gosh, that looks ancient. Look, it's probably a very early microchip. Oh, it's an 8-inch floppy disk. That's a floppy disk? Or is that a floppy disk reader? What are we, a couple of millennials not knowing about the history of computers?
It said with an 8-inch floppy disk. That's not the floppy disk itself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, right. Question and answer time, Tim. Great try there on the factoid. You came up a little short.
I thought my reasoning was solid. I think that if we poll the audience, I'm seeing. Hold on, let's look at chat here real quick. We got 1, 2. I don't know what that one's supposed to mean because he said 80, so we're not going to count it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 people said 85 with me. And then of the people that got it right, I see Matt C said 75. And I see Crypto Billy say could be 75. So Matt C and Crypto Billy, of course, very, very good friends of the channel. I should have trusted them. But I went with my gut and I went with my simple mathematics, and it failed me this time. And tomorrow I'll do better, I promise.
That's right. That's right. We can only grow stronger and learn from our failures. That's one of the core tenets here at the Investing Bros.
Yes.
That's what we try to keep to.
Well, guys, it is a special day because we're going to be ending a little sooner, but I told T-Shroom before we went live, if he was going to quit on us, we were going to make sure to have Q&A done early. So it is time to move into Q&A. I mean, tell us, when on the history of this show have we gotten a Q&A before the mark of 3:30? This is a new record. You guys put a 1 in chat if you love it. Smash the like button if you're excited. Hit subscribe. We're probably, I think days. I think it's literally, give us 4 days, 5 days max, and we're going to get to 10,000 subscribers. But we need you to click that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit it. The truth is, I probably just need to post a Cardano video or something. I love Cardano, but also every time we do Cardano content, people come out the woodwork. Are we just a Cardano channel at this point, T-Shroom?
I don't think so. There's other blockchains.
We're gonna stick to it. We're gonna do what we think is right, and we're gonna keep talking about other coins. But yeah, Cardano definitely. You guys seem to like when we talk about Cardano, and I'll probably make a Cardano video in the next couple of days, so that'll push us over the edge. But we're gonna cover the other things that are really important as well. But starting off here, let's get some Q&A going. I know we saw lots of chat earlier, people asking questions. We do our best to remember our questions, but we're only humans. You gotta ask them again. So even if you asked a good question earlier in chat, assume we did not see it. Ask it again. We'll get into our members Q&A. Matt C says, Tim, I was actually alive in 75. I don't believe it. If you've ever seen Matt's hair, you would not believe that he was alive in 75.
Don't do it to him, Tim. Gassing up. Matt C.
Yeah. True. Let's see. 22 days from the top, we go to the moon, says Ada Ace. Yes, go to the moon, but we first have to fall back down to the pods to refuel. And
I like it.
then you go to the moon.
I like it. Space analogies for the win.
Bash on some XRP, you'll get there quick. You're not wrong, Blackie Chan. Listen, if you guys like XRP, I don't hate XRP. Again, there's a lot of things misunderstood about Tim. I'm a very misunderstood person. People think that they know me, but I'm not that easy to understand. Just ask my wife or my mother.
Very complex man before you.
I simply am not as bullish about XRP as I was, say, 6 months ago. 6 months ago, I held an amount of XRP that would have made me a lot of money because my thoughts were the price would get to $15 to $20, maybe outside chance at $30, right? Massive gains. But as I'm watching price action, I'm watching the news, and I'm thinking through the competition it has to deal with. The fact that it's going to have to deal with Chainlink stealing a little bit of his thunder, Solana stealing some of that institutional thunder, the fact that XRP is really still struggling with the SEC, and they're not getting these massive pumps. My updated price prediction for XRP is going to put me closer to the boat of $10, maybe $12 at most. So to me, I'm sitting here saying I'm way too bullish. I have way too high of a bag. Too much crypto, or too much of my portfolio is allotted to XRP. This cannot stand. I got to cool off a little bit, right? So I still hold XRP. Some of you disagree. Some of you think I should sell all of it, and I'm not there yet. Jay says XRP community is the most toxic. Toxicity and what's the word? Passion. They oftentimes look a lot alike. I think 1 minute it fleshes out as toxic, and the next minute it fleshes out as passionate. To be fair, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Any coin maximalist is pretty toxic. Even, like, you guys know I love Cardano, but if you're a Cardano maximalist, you've been known to be toxic a little bit. The tribalism in crypto is exhausting. I just think, choose your favorites. Acknowledge that there's others, though. If you want to put more into one coin than another, go for it. But I'm going to sit back and trade a lot of coins and make a lot of money while all the maxis just argue and bicker with each other about which coin is actually better. We'll find out. It'll all come to fruition. We'll make a decision eventually, but who knows? It might not be tomorrow. Yeah. A says 48K is possible. Agreed. We discussed that one. Not necessarily seeing too many questions. Yeah. Crypto Billy aging himself here in chat, saying he was 9 years old. I don't believe it, Billy. You're a young guy.
You're a spring chicken. Check this out, Tim. Zachary Martin said, let's talk BRC20.
Let's talk BRC20.
Let's talk. Why don't you pull up the Ordi chart? Because Ordi's been a little bit of a snooze fest.
Why don't we do a little Ordi?
When it just kind of goes to show how good I am at meme coins. That Ordi is the one that I chose, along with Dogecoin. Let's take a look here. I've got the BRC20 tokens by market cap here on coinmarketcap.com. Maybe you've heard of it. This is Pepe coming in at number one for the last. Oh, I'm sorry, not number one. Yeah, number one for the last hour. That's Pepe. Ordinals Council came in 10, or the last place, down 10.2% there. Over the last 7 days, Newt has been leading the pack. Do you know about Newt? Is Newt something that you've been learning about? No? Okay.
Newt.
Yeah, a lot of these are, not necessarily ones that I know about. This is kind of an emerging category here for crypto.
These are BRC tokens or these meme tokens?
BRC meme and utility tokens, I would imagine. If we go by market cap here, which might be a more useful analysis. Whoa, that's not what we want. We can see that they're, the big coins in the space are the meme coin that I have, Ordi, right, which is just associated with ordinals. It's not really part of the ordinals. It's just associated with it in name. And then Sats is going to be, almost it's 979 billion. And that's it. I believe that's utility. I can't remember off the top of my head. Track, heavy utility, 74 billion. Multibit, gotta be honest, haven't really looked too much into that one. So as you go lower on the old chain here, you can kind of see Ordi Swap. This is another one that I'm somewhat familiar with. I've heard that this is looking pretty good. And then you've got TERT, but now you're in 17 billion market cap.
Smay might be an investor in TERT.
I could see it. I could see it. And I actually misquoted these. It's 74 million, not billion. I'm sorry.
Small market caps.
Yeah, Ordi's at 1 billion, 1.3 billion though.
we're going to take a look at Ordy. Yeah, we have a mini mutiny in chat here, T-Shroom. All caps, a mellow fellow, saying they got to be skipping my question on purpose right now. I thought I did. Excuse me if I might be wrong, T-Shroom. Did I not answer the Wyckoff and Elliott Waves question? I thought I did.
Question: what you skipped earlier? Elliott Waves and Wyckoff, are they different? Right? They are. They're definitely different. They're just.
but I didn't expound necessarily.
You want to
expound? Did address it, and they're different. One of them has a lot more to do. Well, ultimately, a lot of things go into Wyckoff. Wyckoff is a massive, very complex thought process. Go to my chart here real quick. I'll kind of draw it out for you. But it kind of focuses on, like, if you were talking about Wyckoff, it focuses on the phases of when it transfers from being distribution and going down to being accumulation, going back up. And so a lot of people like to focus on Wyckoff during the distribution and accumulation phases, but ultimately the whole teaching of it is the wave pattern of how manipulation in the markets work, right? Wyckoff was really big on trying to explain to the average retail investor the complicated cooperation and corruption of the whales and the institutions to manipulate smaller guys out of space, right? That's the teaching of Wyckoff. Whereas when we're talking about Elliott wave theory, we're just talking about simple waves. For example, you might have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up, followed by an ABC correction back down. There's rules that apply. Again, I've said this famously. I have seen 742 people do Elliott waves, and I've seen 742 different Elliott waves explained. I've never found two people that agree on them, but there are certain little practices that we have picked up along the way that have worked out pretty solidly. And but we're not very big necessarily. I'll bring up Elliott waves when it's convenient to bring it up, when he should. I'll bring up Wyckoff when it should. But ultimately, yes, they're very different teachings as a whole. 2 super chats coming in here. Love it. Thank you so much for the support, everybody. Facepalm F15. What about just the tip? Tips on Sol. Bro, check out how we've been holding up during this dip. And I think check, but it says Keck. The market cap, solid team. Just the tip. I am going to be honest with you guys. I'm not putting money into something called just the tip.
Why not, Tim?
Too much. It's too much. I know I come across as a fun guy that might put money into a project called Just the Tip, but let me tell you, I am not. Not that kind of guy. Morgan Powell said $2 in the top 50 coins. What 2 could 10x? Well, to be fair, many coins in the top 10. I know we got to look at Ordy, but we got derailed by super chats, and I love super chats, so we got to answer them. Let's take a look at the top 50 coins here, guys. I'm going to roll through here and just give you right off the bat which ones can or can't. I'm going to tell you Bitcoin won't. Ethereum won't. Solana, I don't think from here, obviously in the market as a whole, it would. But again, 200. My top for Solana is $1,000. That's a little over a 5x from here. I don't think Solana's going to do it. I don't think BNB is going to do it. XRP sitting at 60 cents. Yeah, I think XRP can 10x. Right. So we got to coin 6, and we're already finding a coin that can 10x here. You're laughing. Is there something humorous?
Well, did you see that? Did you see that picture of the average BNB holder? I don't know if you saw that yet. It was actually pretty good stuff to know.
Yeah, they have pretty eyes, you know. XRP definitely could 10x from here. AVAX could. Now it's gonna be AVAX gonna be a hard one because again, my max. So XRP, I have it going higher than $6. That's why I'm looking at 60 cents, saying yeah, I can 10x from here. I have Avalanche getting to about 650 or so, but of course, you never know if your prediction is a little high. So I think AVAX can, but I'm not going to put as much faith in that as maybe XRP. I think XRP will be higher than AVAX when it's all said and done in terms of market cap. Cardano definitely can, only at 61 cents. Dogecoin, let's just get to $1 and see what happens when Dogecoin gets to $1. We've been trying to get to $1 forever. It could if Elon comes out and says, all right, we're going full-fledged here, X is going to fully utilize Doge, then we're talking about probably $3 to $5 Dogecoin, in which case it's more than a 10x. But let's get to $1 first and let's see what happens there. I'm less certain about that one. I think Toncoin could, but the Toncoin could also be one that it had such a bullish rally during the bear market. It makes you wonder. It's like, well, could it kind of die off during the bull market? I don't know.
Well, it's got that new narrative going on, right? With Telegram going public. So Reddit right now is, through Robinhood, you can actually get early access to Reddit's IPO. I don't think I'm going to do that. just, I'm staying focused on crypto. Is Reddit could potentially be a good IPO to buy? I don't. By the way, initial public offering is IPO. This is kind of like an ICO, initial coin offering. On the stock side, Reddit is going public on the New York Stock Exchange, and a lot of people are crazy about it. One Redditor actually commented recently that he was going to buy some stock in Reddit. So maybe that could go well. But overall, it's kind of a who's to say at this point. Got another super chat here from Crypto Pollo. Donated $5. Said, "What are your thoughts on Lido? Lido's good project."
Yeah, I don't really have any thoughts on it. What are your thoughts? Just you like it?
Yeah, it's a solid project. A lot of people are staking their Ethereum there. That's actually where I had my Ethereum staked during the bear market. I have since unstaked it and just keep it in a cold wallet. But a lot of people are big fans of staking their Ethereum on Lido. Now, some of y'all just heard me say that, and you're like, "What? You're not staking your Ethereum?" Some of us are. It's an incentive. It's an incentive to hold Ethereum. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying don't do it. That's just my choice. My crypto, my choice.
Hey.
Right?
Yeah. Here soon we need to start getting on this. But of course, with T-Shroom running a new podcast and taking job interviews left and right. I don't know if this is going to happen, but we're going to start a new series going through and reviewing coins. We're going to create a really cool system for you guys to kind of duplicate it, where we're literally going to be like, all right, these are we haven't narrowed it down yet. We got to come up with a list of questions, but my thought is it's going to be somewhere around 7 things. Like there's 7 questions that you need to have the answers to before you invest into a coin, right? I'm throwing that number out there. It might be 6, might be 8, but 7 feels like the right spot. We're going to make a series of videos where we take those 7 questions, we apply them to coins that you guys have been asking about. We'll probably even do them for like even the popular ones like Solana, Cardano, XRP, yada, yada, yada. But we'll apply them to these 7 questions, and then we'll give you a rating based off of how they passed those 7 questions. And the rating, of course, we're not going to give you guys financial advice. We're not going to say buy or don't buy. We're going to tell you, in our personal opinions, this one gets an A+, this one gets a B-, this one gets a C, this one's a D-. Like, if you want to buy it, go for it. But it's a risky investment for sure. We're gonna create series like that. Let us know in chat. Is that something you guys are interested in? If you're not interested, we won't do it. We won't waste our time. But if you like that, we will do so. We got away from MLFO says I prefer asking 21 questions. Listen, if you want to ask 21 questions, you go ahead and ask 21 questions. Let's go check out Ordi. We had this request a while ago. We got away from it, but those of you who thought we forgot, we never forget. We look at everything. 4-hour chart here on Ordi. Before we look at that, though, with Lux Algo, shout out to Lux Algo, crushing it here recently. T-Shroom, you made this Ordi pick back in January. Wasn't a good pick. Not a good pick.
Yeah.
Not as good as your short on Bohm, that is for sure. Which, speaking of, we have to update people on what's happening with that competition. We'll do that right after we cover Ordi. But as a whole, traders might like this. I mean, there's definitely a nice little trend going on here of support and resistance. We're sitting at a very key level where we have come on, close out. There we go. We've closed. We had some candles go below this level, but none of them actually closed on 4-hour below it, funny enough. But if we break that, that could get pretty bearish here for Ordi. But as a whole, let's go back and open up Lux Algo, calling this thing kind of perfectly. Nice sell order coming in here. Hit our take profit, went a little bit below it. We've hit that green support band. So we haven't gotten a buy signal just yet, but when I pull up our money flow and our oscillators, definitely some bullish divergences going into play here. We have our green reversal. We have our bullish momentum. The money flow is flowing positive. Now, I don't love how far back this reversal is necessarily. So let's see if we find some. Yeah, I like it. I'm going to give this one the benefit of the doubt for my trade setup because that's very clearly bullish divergence. Lower lows in price action and higher lows in oscillator. It just doesn't print it that way. And I'm not 100% certain in the algorithm why it's not printing a bullish divergence right there. But that's bullish divergence. That's reversal. Bullish momentum and positive money flow. Already should be going to the upside. Now, there's a nice order block sitting here around $69 or so that could prove to be problematic. You're going to see the smart chill concepts coming in that area as well. So I'm not necessarily saying to trade this sucker to the moon, but I am saying we should bounce at least back up to here. And let's see if we can get out of this bearish trend right now. We have a red smart chill concept, meaning a bear trend. Can we flip it? Can we get back positive here and start moving back to the upside? If history, though, is any indication, it's not looking great here, T-Shroom. It's a pretty boring sideways chart. But the good news is something's going to break eventually, and we'll know more. Should we hold it long term? If it breaks that red line, I'd say probably dump it. If we close candles below that red line, I'd say dump this meme. But if we start to make a move back up and maybe break to a new all-time high, maybe there's still some juice left to squeeze.
Yeah, definitely. And that's kind of really actually very useful because I don't know. I've been kind of looking for some liquidity to get into some different projects, and Ordi has kind of underperformed. But I'm wondering if because it is the top market cap of the BRC20 tokens, it's almost like, none of the memes that we're seeing really do well are BRC20. Maybe not none of them. Sats kind of has had some big pops a little while ago, but it's not any of these top market cap coins, right? It's a lot of Solana ecosystem coins, which is great, and some Ethereum in here, and then some utility blockchains. Like, there's nothing wrong with what we're seeing here. It's just it's not BRC20 season. Think I'm going to hold my Ordi just because it's far and away kind of the representative in a sense of the meme space. But look, you're probably hearing me and you're like, T-Shroom, you suck. You're terrible at memes. It could be the case, right? Because the only other meme I have is Dogecoin. So,
T-Shroom, there might be someone out there saying it, but I'm not going to say it. I think you're good at memes. I think you're solid. Not that one.
I needed that
specifically, but you're good at shorting them. And some of you guys know this last Saturday, we started a new Saturday show tradition. I think you guys like it so far. We haven't even gotten to the first week yet, so bear with us. We did have to make some changes, and I'll update you guys as to what those changes are. But our Saturday show, we started a new competition where T-Shroom and I, in a draft order, get to choose from the top 100 tokens, whether to long or short. We get $100, $20 per token, and we're going to have a competition throughout the week to see who can make the most money out of that $100, right? Once you take profit, though, or stop loss, that's it. You're done with that trade. You got to try to hold out as long as possible and make the best decision possible, right? T-Shroom is winning. The 5 that he chose to short Bohm. Of course, that one, it popped up into the top 100. He had the number 1 overall pick. He took Bohm, took a short. That is his saving grace. I'll get to the numbers here in a second. But he did short Bohm around 2.2 cents, give or take. He decided to long Chainlink around 1883. That's not working out for him so far. XMR, that's Monero token. He decided to short that one at 144. Arweave, he's longing at 34.73. And FET, he's shorting at $2.52. Now, it's Tuesday. We got a long week left. He's in the green on some of his coins, in the red on others, but he's in the green overall, thanks to Bohm. We'll cover those numbers in a second. My 5 selections, I decided to short Solana around 192. I did say when I picked it, don't be surprised if we pop up to 200 first. So even in my prediction, I said I'm going to be in the red here for a little bit. But I'm shorting Solana. That's proving to be successful so far. I'm shorting Jupiter, of course, one of the Solana tokens. I shorted that one around $1.34. Optimism, my one long, was the one token that I don't think I've ever been in the green this entire trade. Optimism was pretty overextended, so I longed at 361. Not working out for me. Not working at all. AVAX, I wanted to short at 57. I thought it might pop up to $60 first. I shorted at 57. That thing went all the way to 65, which was my prediction from last week. I just kind of changed it on Saturday thinking, that's too far for us to pump that far. I was wrong. AVAX jumped up so high that even though it's pulling back right now, I'm still in the red technically. And then I also shorted Render. And Render, of course, had that pop-up of like 30% the day before the conference. It's cooling off now. It's getting back down towards my level, but I shorted that one at 10.95. And as you guys know, Render currently is sitting somewhere around 11 something after popping up, though, to like 13 or 14. It's cooling off. But as it stands, these are our numbers right now. Bohm for T-Shroom up 45%. This is his saving grace. 45% gains on Bohm so far. He's lost 6% on Chainlink, gained 5% on Monero trade. He's down 7% on Arweave, and he is broke even on FET, giving his total at the moment on Tuesday, about midway through this trading challenge, he is up 37%. Now, remember, he's up 45% on Bohm. So if it wasn't for Bohm, my man be in the red. Mm-hmm. But, sometimes it just takes one. Just takes one, and you can be very successful. Tim is up 6% on Solana trade, 7% on the Jupiter trade. So that's nice. But then I'm in the red technically on my other three. Optimism, I'm down 6%. AVAX, I'm down 3%. And Render, I'm down 1%, bringing my total to a whopping 3%. Very sucky. I do expect to get a little higher there. I think the dip will continue to come, but I just don't think that I'm going to be able to outpace T-Shroom's Bohm short. That by the time this is all said and done, he might be well over 150% because Bohm is dipping quickly.
That's
T-Shroom,
right.
being the midweek leader of the pack, tell me how you're feeling right now.
I'm feeling better than I deserve, Tim, and I'm ready to give back. And if you're ready to give back after a lot of successes, you're probably thinking, is there a community of people who give? Maybe some givers that gain by giving? There is, and they meet tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and they've actually got a representative from Gala Games, and they're going to have a convo on the spaces there. Thank you, Crux, for letting us know about that. If you actually go over to their Twitter, you can see that they've got the live spaces all set up for tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're not in the East Coast, it's going to be a different time, obviously. But go ahead and tune in for this. It's going to be a lot of fun. This is the gentleman they've got from Gala Games, Jason Brink, Barbarian, Path of the Berserker, which I believe is a kind of a mention of a video game. I'm pretty sure, maybe like Dungeons and Dragons or something, or just general kind of like sci-fi, not sci-fi. Oh gosh, fantasy themes. Originally more than likely coming from Tolkien, right? Gala Games, President of Blockchain. It's going to be on Billy Goat Tales. Go check them out. Givers gain, and I'm winning. Yeah. I'm winning the trading competition because of a meme coin.
And hats off to you. That was your number one pick. Sometimes when you draft, like in sports, sometimes the fourth, fifth, sixth rounds you just get duds. But if you get that number one overall pick, they can change franchises.
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, it is leading T-Shroom well on his way to winning the first round of our trading competition here. Now, I got a question in chat here from Crispin Tarbuckles.
That is a sick name.
If that is your legal birth name, I want to be your best friend. Crispin, please reach out and we'll hang out on the regular. No, wait a minute. I think I read the wrong name. That is a good name. I don't know why that was the chat I went to. That was okay. It's one of the tip bots. See, this ruined it. This is why it's not a birth name. It's one of the tip bots. That's not who said this. Somebody asked about. Oh, this has been very fun. Where do you go? It was right above there. Indie Halo. That's a cool name as well. Not as cool as Crispin Tarbuckles.
I feel like Crispin Tarbuckles is an AI engineered name to get streamers to say it.
10 out of 10 it is, but it has been fun. Indie Halo says, where are you guys trading at with these shorts? Well, guess what? I told you there's a little bit of a hiccup. So I found out we are sponsored by Blofin. Go check out Blofin down below. We love it for trades. I'd never made a very small trade though, right? So I found out that Blofin has a minimum of $100 of volume minimal to enter a trade, right? And as we told you, each trade we were making with $20 per coin. Nothing crazy, just $20 a coin. We're not really putting stop losses. We can take profit whenever, but it turns out we were doing 2x leverage. Simple math, 20 times 2, that's 40. That's not 100. You have to have $100 of volume to trade. So we will have an update to the rules to use Blofin. We will be doing $20 on 5x per coin. Those of you out there not good at quick math, 20 times 5 is 100. That will be the bare minimum. You have to trade on Blofin. So next week, we'll have it all on Blofin. For now, I'm working off of sticky notes, but we're staying honest with it. I'm tracking the information. T-Shroom, if he texts me and says, Tim, I'm selling at this price, I'll write it down. And that's how I'm kind of operating. So we'll let you guys know what happens Saturday. We'll maybe get a Thursday or Friday update before the final day on Saturday. But that is all we have for today because T-Shroom does need to leave. But with that said, make sure you guys smash the like button. Hit subscribe as well if you enjoyed the video. We are almost to 10,000 subscribers, so be a part of it. Tell your mom about us. Tell your brother and your sister. Create 7 accounts just like Crispin Tarbuckles and hit that subscribe button. Become one of the first 10,000, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place. Adios.
Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots, stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros. Army pipe, lethal on trade. Entries and exits, worthy of praise. Tim, the professor of the TA. Shouted out loud on the PA. T-Shrooms news, got the word. Doing better than what he deserves. Beamer, leave no evidence. Soon fly coop with his dividend. Trying to make paper, turn that better to cake. Money like Lego, connect the dots, stack bank. We are investing bros. We are investing bros.